Why are you laughing?
No, go on, you can do it.
So today we're going to be talking about what to say and what not to say immediately after someone loses.
In our opinion.
Someone, in our opinion. The do's and don'ts.
Should we just do the don'ts first?
Get the bad ones out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't say nothing. Just going to throw that one out there first. Say something. Something is better than nothing, even if you do get it wrong. You've said something, you're thinking of that person. And it not only helps them to be like, even because at the time when you get messages, you're not really reading them, really, are you?
No, and you don't. If you are, you're not really.
You're not really processing them. Mm-hmm. If anything, it helps you as the friend in the long run. Do you know what I mean? Say something. Don't say nothing. Mm-hmm. Something is better than nothing. I'm not really going to explain that one.
No.
I really think that's quite simple.
I don't think a lot of these will need explaining. So this is just quick fire tips of what to say and not to say.
Yeah.
The second one is to do not ask what happened.
Oh my God.
On the day, on the following days, on the following weeks, like ever.
To be honest, it's really weird that is. I guess it's human nature to be curious.
And everyone wants answers, like friends and stuff. Yeah. But
to say at that time what happened is wild.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Especially if you know that person isn't ill. Like a lot, if that person has been ill and maybe it's something that has been coming, then people will assume. And the assumptions are bad enough as it is. Yeah, it is crazy. Genuinely, the people that ask me like, "Hi, I'm so sorry for your loss. How did she die? Are you all right?"
Crazy.
Even I didn't know yet. No. So it was fucking wild. It's don't ask.
Yeah, don't do that. It's completely irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter. The fact is, they're not here anymore.
If you're important enough to know, you will eventually be told.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you're important enough to know, we'll probably see you, and therefore, then it would be a conversation.
Mm-hmm. You?
What, another one? Mm-hmm. Don't try and relate. Fuck me. Oh, it was so annoying.
Even if you can relate,
don't try.
Don't try in that moment.
At that point, because absolutely, with some time, you can reach out again and be like, I'm never gonna know what you're going through because every person's relationship to the one that has passed away is different. Everyone's experience of that is different. Like, it's never gonna be the same, but you will understand things that other people don't get. So you might not understand the death of their person and they won't understand the death of yours. But what they will understand is the fact that even these messages are annoying instantly. Mm-hmm. Or the loneliness you feel after or the guilt you feel with everything. They'll understand those sort of things. So at a later point, absolutely fine to be like, hey, just thought I'd reach out because although I'm not going to understand what you're going through, I went through a big loss in my life. And if you ever need someone to talk to about the shit that brings with it, I'm here. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, do not try and relate. I beg of you.
The other thing is what we've just said is where you're reading these messages and you fully, like, you're in so much denial. It's such a shock. You're in denial. Yeah. You don't think they're for you. You're literally like, is everyone all right? Mm. For then someone to be like trying to make sense of my situation by relating it to their situation. It's just not. It's not a now conversation. So don't do that.
So just don't try and make that about you. Yeah. It's, again, they're aware that it's coming from a good place. Mm. And no one is going to sit there and be like,
yeah.
But it's not the moment and it's not helpful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. And it feels in that moment like you're minimising what has just happened to them.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, we've done a whole video on this, but don't ask, how are you? We're talking when it's just happened. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your mum. How are you doing? Don't do that. Because I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. We're not even going into that. Like, no. How do you think they're doing?
Crazy.
No comment.
Okay. That's the don'ts. The do's, in our opinion. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I would just say it's really quite easy to just let that person know that, I don't know, you're sorry for their loss and that you're thinking of them. To be honest, oh my God, it's actually so easy, which is why it's so wild how people say nothing at all. Because if you really, really don't know what to say and you're really struggling with it, because I'd be like, yeah, I never heard from them, and they'd be like, people just don't know what to say, and I'm like, why? If you really can't find the words, send a heart.
Yeah, we live in a day and age where there's emojis.
It's so simple now that there is no excuse for it, if I'm being completely honest. I feel a bit brutal in this video, but it's true. It's so easy. If you really can't find the words, send a heart. Send a bloody heart. Let that person know that you're in their thoughts. Mm-hmm. Like I said, people are going to get it wrong, but something is better than nothing. That's the first thing. You can just say, like, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. Thinking of you all. Really quite simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For people, I think, that are closer to
like knew mum or knew the person that died.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really nice when people say, like, I found it really nice when people sent messages saying things about mum within them, like she was amazing, like people saying things about mum and talking about her rather than themselves. That was nice. Also, please don't feel any pressure to reply to this message.
Even though they're unlikely to reply. Some people reply straight away. Everyone's different. Everyone has such a different reaction, but like, it is always nice when someone says, absolutely do not worry about replying, because you just know that they know.
Yeah.
So it's always really helpful, actually, when someone says that.
Yeah.
And then I would just say that kind of the last one, really. Well, not the last one, because it's coming under the do, because we've said what you don't say initially, and I think with the what you do say, that often comes with actions as well, especially if you are somebody who's closer. Continuous, if you're thinking of them and you feel like that you don't have a relationship that is just a one-time check-in, or you knew their relationship with the person that has passed away, message again in a few days, in a couple of weeks, and just be like, really thinking of all you girls.
Just like continuous support.
And it's so, like we said before, it's so easy. It takes you 2 seconds to let that person know that you're in their thoughts. And again, you might not get anything back from that, but it does go a lot further than you think it does. It's just reminding them that you're there. There is no pressure to reply, but you're there. And that is enough. It is. Then I would say the reason it comes with action is that if you are closer, if you are thinking of me, prove it to another step, in the sense of, I personally, when I have had friends that have lost someone or something, I'd send them flowers. Something like that, a gesture. Obviously, like, money's a thing. You don't have to be spending money on on people. It's just like, prove that they're in your thoughts, whether that is through like a gesture like that or another message.
Yeah, I just think it's really easy. Like I've just said, saying thinking of you, absolutely do that. But when you are close, like Fliss has just said, it's so easy to say thinking of you, but it shows you're thinking of them when you put that into action. Like, even if it is clicking on a website, clicking a bunch of flowers and posting it, thought is there and you are thinking of me, and that's coming into my space.
I think with that, a huge one is offer practical help if you can. So, for example, when that banking process starts, let me know, because that is something, like, I know what I'm doing. If you need help, I've got you, you know. Practical help goes a very, very, very long way, and you don't have to know things about anything. If that is not something that's in your lockup, practical help can be as simple as, we had, one of our sisters has kids, one of mum's friends meal prepped for her. You know, she just bulk made all these meals and took them over, because she was like, you've got so much to sort and kids, like, I've cooked. And you have no idea how much that helps. It helps so much. Whenever mum's friends lost someone, she always baked a lasagna, didn't she? Like, she didn't even ever say it was from her. She never signed it, like,
it was
nothing.
Just a signature.
She just made a lasagna and she put it on their doorstep. It's like, she didn't expect them to have to see her, to speak to her, anything. It's just, I've made this food, because it's a bulk lot, isn't it? And it's just there. There's no questions. I don't expect a thank you.
No one, you're not thinking about your next meal when you're in the depths of grief.
Or eating at all.
So to have it there and someone forcing it down your throat in a good way, it really helps. On the day of as well, one of mum's other friends practically helped. She literally got in her car, drove like 3 hours, and helped with all of those immediate phone calls, going through mum's phone, but basically, and letting everyone know, because it was a job that we didn't feel like we could do in that moment. She just took that sort of
like herself.
Emotions were sort of cut out for her, and she just got the job done.
This is what's happened.
So yeah, if you are if you're close enough, or that person,
practical help basically goes a really long way. Even if you're not physically close, practical help is as much as being like, have you washed today, actually, and being like, look, just get in the shower, you'll feel better for it.
Through a neighbour, like, come take the dogs, just do something.
Yeah, take the dogs out for a walk if they haven't. Another really good idea is kind of mixing the two together. So like the gestures is one thing with the flowers, the meal prep and practical help is another one. We are, as sisters, we're really spread out across the country. One is super up north, and her friends from south sent like tokens, like meal tokens, like Deliveroo. I thought that was such a good idea because they can't cook and send her the food, so they were like, look,
here's some food on us.
Get what you want. And it is so good because it's so nice as well. It's a gesture of I'm thinking of you, but it's also practical help. That is such a good one if it's something you can afford. Like, goes so far. So far. And this doesn't have to be like straight away. It doesn't have to be like you find out their mum's died and the next day you've sent them a lasagna. It can be the following week, it can be a couple of weeks after, it can be at any point, but practical help is really, if it's possible and something you can offer, do offer. And potentially be quite specific with it in the sense of, don't be like, if, I'm not saying this is wrong, if there's anything I can do, please just ask. That is still a great thing to say to somebody because you mean it. Like, if there's anything, please do ask me. But if there is specific things that you can offer them, because not only is if you not thinking straight as the person that's grieving, or even thinking about what things do need doing, you're also very unlikely to ask for help during that time, especially because you are like really shut away on purpose. It is unlikely that they're going to be like, remember when you said I need help with stuff, like, can you? So I'm not saying it's a bad message to send, but I would just say be a bit specific with it if you can be.
Yeah, like we had lots of people being like, ask if you need anything, but for example, a couple of Fliss's friends, Fliss was obviously abroad at the time, was like, if you need me to pick you up from the airport, I mean it, I will do that.
Or like, I've booked the day off, if you decide it's me, you want to collect you, I'm there.
With that point, it's not as immediate sort of day of, but in the coming weeks, with plans and things, if you are planning on seeing that person,
whenever the person is ready to socialise, make it as easy as you physically can for them. Make sure there is no decisions that they have to make for any of the plans because they don't have the capacity, and make sure that they are fully aware that there is no pressure to participate in them. It might be that when you made them, they're like, yeah, it'd be really nice to see you, and that on the day they can't get out of bed. So just make sure they're aware, like, if anything changes, it's cool, don't worry.
Yeah.
But equally, this is what I've got in mind. Even if this is come to my house, put your pyjamas on, and we're watching Mean Girls. Yeah. But no decisions. Like, even decisions of what would you like for dinner is just like,
I don't care.
I don't care. And if you keep putting those things on them, decision-wise, it's really exhausting. Like, it was a big enough decision and effort for them to even be there. So, yeah, don't give them like, well, I'm easy, so it's up to you. Like, no, you're actually not being easy. You're not. Just, if you want me to eat, give me food.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't care, because I probably won't be doing those things.
Well, I think that's quite a nice summary. Yeah, the main things we took that were really genuinely like, thank you so much, and the things that were really like, thank you, no. Thank you, no. Not helpful, not thank you. In the immediate sort of aftermath. Yeah.
I think so. Should we have a look at how that looks?
Yes.
Bye now.